Hey guys, welcome back to Exploring Careers. You're joined by me, Mitch, as always, and today I'm excited to be joined by Tara, who is calling in from Affinity Education. Thank you so much for joining us today, Tara.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited.
Now, I'm excited to get stuck into this one. So, are you able to tell me, just before we kick off, who Affinity Education are?
So Affinity are one of the leading early childhood education providers in Australia, and they do a range of long day care centres across the nation. And
Okay, so if people are going to work and need to drop their kids off or whatever it may be, that's you guys. That's what you guys do.
Yeah. So we provide care for children as young as 6 weeks old up until the year before they go to school.
Wow, 6 weeks. Okay, well, I've got a 4-month-old at home, so I might have to get on to you guys after this because we're not getting much sleep at the moment. So it'd be good if we could handball him off to someone. So what do you do there, Tara? What's your role at Affinity?
So I'm an early childhood teacher. So I am based in the kindergarten room where I do a school readiness program and focus on getting the 4 to 5 year old children ready for school as they transition into the prep environment.
Okay, cool. And what kind of stuff are they doing at, that age? What are you teaching them? Are they, I'm not too sure, so forgive my ignorance here, but are they reading, writing? What kind of stuff are you doing with them at that age?
So we focus more on their emotional resilience and the skills that they need for school. So being able to ask questions, being able to have that little bit of independence and being secure in who they are and not afraid to ask for help, and if they need support with things, being really confident in themselves, because school is such a big change from early childhood. So it's a big step. So we really focus on developing that emotional resilience and regulation.
Awesome. And how many kids would you be looking after at a time? And do you have people, teammates working with you, and do you split the group up? How does that work? Like, how many will you be responsible for at any given time?
So my days look like, I guess the snapshot of our day is we have 22 children every day in the classroom. I'm supported by a lead educator who works really closely with me, and we run the program quite succinctly. So we work very close together. When I do a lot of the teaching, I will pull a small group out, and the lead educator, she will have the other small group to do experiences as well. We work really closely in doing whole class and small group learning. Okay,
awesome. And going back a bit, is this something that you always wanted to do? Like, if we go back to like your high school days, is this something you always had in the back of your mind that, yep, this is something I'm interested in and this is something I want to do? Or did it come to you later? Can you walk us through that a bit?
So when I was in year 12, I did always want to be a teacher. However, I decided straight out of school that I just wanted to work. I didn't want to do any study. So I actually started in the workforce as a assistant centre manager in a retail company. And I worked there for about 3 years. And then I decided, I do want to follow my dreams of being a teacher. So I started studying my Certificate 3. From there, I was lucky to get employment with Affinity, and I've been with them for nearly 10 years this year. And I've gone from doing my Cert 3, finishing it, straight into doing my diploma, finishing it with Affinity, and then I've now moved into my Bachelor of Education, which I'm nearly finished. And I've got a scholarship through Affinity.
Amazing. So what is it about Affinity that I guess drew you to them initially and that's kept you there for so long? Because 10 years is a long time, especially in today's day and age where people seem to want to move every 2 seconds. What is it about Affinity that, as I said, drew you to them to begin with and has made you want to stay all this time?
They were really inviting as a company to work for, because when I first started, I was a bit I was new to the industry and I was like, oh, I don't really know what I'm doing. But Affinity's always been really supportive and engaging with their team, I suppose. We've always been very lucky to have people above us come down and give us that mentoring. So that's really been a great thing for my personal learning and my professional journey. And yeah, I think the industry is always changing. So having that support from such a large company has been really beneficial and makes you want to stay.
Awesome. And you mentioned that you were doing your, I just missed you there, either completed or completing your bachelor's degree. So is that something that Affinity do? They will help train you on the job, basically, is that right?
Yeah, so Affinity have the Affinity Learning Academy, and you can go through and study your Cert 3 and your diploma through the Learning Academy. I'm doing the scholarship pathways program through Affinity, so I am nearly completed my bachelor, so I've got 3 assignments to go and I'm done, which is very exciting. And Affinity has supported me through that by giving me a scholarship, so I'm not worried about bills and all that sort of stuff while I'm away on professional experience. There's always that backup and support from them through the scholarship program.
Awesome, super exciting. Well, firstly, congratulations, almost finished. Must be a very exciting time, and that's great with the scholarship that you don't have to worry about what you just said, bills and I guess just life things, knowing that Affinity have got your back, which is really cool. What's something, now you've been involved for going on 10 years or around about that, what's something that you've experienced and learned that you think most people wouldn't know about, I guess, childcare and early learning? Because I guess people would have misconceptions, which would often be wrong, I would imagine, about childcare, and it's looking after screaming kids and that type of thing, which I'm sure that's a part of it, and you've got to wrangle up kids and that type of thing. But what else is there that people perhaps wouldn't see?
Look, it is a very tough job at times. However, it's probably one of the most rewarding things that anyone can ever do. We are so lucky to see children from the baby's room grow right through to the kindergarten room and then go off to school. I myself have been really lucky, and I've seen probably 3 or 4 lots of the babies go to school, and it's really rewarding. One thing that I guess everyone kind of always assumes is we just babysit, but we don't do that. We get to teach the children so many new things. Like, we get to help them learn to walk. We get to help them. One of the not so fun things, obviously, is toileting. However, it's rewarding seeing a child go through those stages and progression. It's just super rewarding. Like, you see children go from these tiny little babies into the most amazing little human beings.
No, I can only imagine. As I mentioned before, we've got a 4-month-old at home, and just even with him, he's just started rolling, and it's like, oh my God, how amazing is this? And so I can only imagine when you're seeing all different kids at all different ages doing all these different things, I can only imagine how amazing and how rewarding that would be. Now, we've mentioned a few times that you've been with Affinity for a while now, so I imagine the work culture is really good, and that's something which a lot of people are conscious about more than probably ever before when going into a new job, is what's the culture like? Because I'm going to be spending a lot of time here, a lot of time with these people. So what's the environment like? I'm imagining it's great.
It's pretty amazing. Everyone is super approachable, and honestly, no question is a silly question with them. There's always someone that can support you and provide any assistance that you require, whether it's with, computer work, or with setting up experiences for the children, or behaviour management, or there's just so much support. And Affinity's got such a good team of experts that there's always someone to help you.
Perfect. And type of skills and attributes that you think you need. So for people who are watching this and going, yep, this sounds right up my alley, I'm keen on this. I imagine, now correct me if I'm wrong, but I imagine patience would be a big one. What else do you think people need or that they should know before jumping into a career with Affinity?
Definitely patience, but I also think you need to be super energetic, be really bubbly and outgoing, and just have a willingness to learn, I guess, because the industry is always changing. We're always learning. I'm always learning. Every day's a new day. So I think you've just got to be, super energetic and excited to learn, I guess.
Awesome. And you touched on it just then, the future of work. Again, it's another hot topic. Same with office culture and work culture. Everyone wants to know what the future of work is like. Now, obviously, there's not going to be a shortage of kids anytime soon. So I imagine you feel quite comfortable in your industry. What are some of your own personal goals? What are you wanting to achieve in maybe the next 10 years with Affinity, for example?
Good question. I'm really happy with what I'm doing at the moment, and I love being an early childhood teacher. So it's something that I definitely want to stick with. Future-wise, I would like to further my career even more with Affinity. Like, I'd like to do leadership or, become a mentor for other educators in the industry. So probably looking at doing maybe a mentoring program or something would be really great.
Cool. Awesome. Now, knowing what you know now, obviously you've been with Affinity a little while now and gone through a few different experiences. If I could take you back in time to your high school days, obviously it's a really stressful time for a lot of people because you're asked to make a lot of important decisions at a really young age where you don't know what way's up, and people are asking you, what you're going to be doing, try planning out your future. I know when I was at school, we were asked in year 9 to pick your subjects, and then if you pick these subjects, these are the uni courses you're going to do. And I'm just like, whoa. I'm just worried about football on the weekend and, all of that type of stuff. So it's a crazy time where you're asked to make these big decisions at a young age and be quite stressful. So what advice would you give those young people potentially watching this today in that boat at the moment where they're facing a lot of challenges, a lot of stresses? What would you say to those people?
Just take a breath. It's okay to not know what you want to do. There are so many opportunities out there in the world that take them as they come. Don't stress. If you are passionate about something, follow your dreams.
Perfect. No, great advice. And last question before I leave you, anyone who's watching this and is like, I really like what Tara's had to say, I'm really keen on this, this is something I've wanted to do for a while, or maybe they've been inspired by what you've had to say, what are the next steps from here? What would you say to them in regards to getting involved in the industry and with Affinity specifically?
I would definitely get them to contact Affinity. If you Google Affinity Education Group, they will come up, and there's so many jobs and opportunities listed within the industry through Affinity. So follow those dreams. If it's something you want to do, reach out. Someone will be able to help you.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Tara. As Tara just mentioned, we'll leave all the relevant links so you can go off and do your own investigation down below. So if you're keen on what Tara's had to say and you want to learn more about Affinity Education and careers in the industry, we'll leave all the information below. But thank you so much again for jumping on today, Tara, and sharing your journey. It's been great chatting to you.
Thank you so much for having me.